Hey everyone, Erica with a K here. So today is my 1 year update for my mastectomy. So that was to completely go flat. I got a double mastectomy, bilateral mastectomy with an aesthetic flat closure because I was high risk for breast cancer. And this reduced my chances of getting breast cancer by 90%. I had somebody write on my video recently that getting a breast reduction doesn't reduce your chances of getting cancer. I did not get a breast reduction. I got a mastectomy. I think I've made that very clear, so I think I was just getting trolled on that video, but just figured I'd address it just in case. And I do post a lot of videos talking about fashion and clothes that I wear because I am so happy with my decision to go flat. And I know that it's not for everybody, but it was definitely for me. My boobs were growing at an alarming rate. Within the 10 years that I was with my husband, I went from a C to a double F, and I am in my 30s. I'm in my late 30s. I had lost weight during that time. It wasn't a weight gain. I was in the best shape of my life. I had a six-pack abs. I had literally I was cut in my arms, cut everywhere. We were working out, we were taking care of ourselves, and my boobs just kept growing. So was the lower part of my belly. Wound up finding out that I had a fibroid that was also growing. That was the size of a 12-week pregnancy. If your boobs are growing like that and you're like past the age of puberty and your boobs are not supposed to still be growing, and it's just you're healthy and you know you're healthy and you're keeping your body weight in check, then go to the doctor. Go get checked. Go talk to them. I think I weighed 108 pounds when this happened. Yeah, it's not like I was, oh, my boobs grew because it was a weight gain issue. It wasn't. And my breast density was 80%, which means that I had 20% breast fat versus my whole breast being just, fatty tissue. It was really I think they call them glandulous or something like that. I never know how to pronounce those things. So it wasn't an issue of weight gain. I just wanted to clarify that in case people are yeah, my breasts grow too. If it's not a weight gain thing, go get checked out. Go see what's going on. Not to raise any red flags, but raise the red flags. You got to know you're normal. And if you can't know you're normal because your normal keeps changing, go get checked. I went to a breast specialist, and that was thought to be because of my birth control. But this video is going to talk about my 1 year, my thoughts on it. So I just started dry brushing about probably more 10 months after my mastectomy. I started dry brushing. So that's something that you do before you go in the shower. It's a specific brush that you use. And then you go in the shower and you use kind of a soap that would be more moisturizing. And then you definitely moisturize afterwards. But I have been using the Moderna Advanced Scar Gel. I really prefer this over the sheets. I was using the sheets for a while. So I originally was using the Amazon best reviewed, or not the best reviewed, the main one that Amazon was kind of pushing. I was using that one originally, and when I peeled it off, it was so sticky that it was peeling my scar with it. And I was like, no, because this is gonna start stretching out my scar or hurting me, or mainly I was thinking it was gonna stretch my skin out because it was peeling with it. So I decided not to use that, and I asked my plastic surgeon who did the final closure on my aesthetic flat closure what I should use, and he recommended it's a Scylla something. I'll have it linked down below along with the Moderna one. But I started using that, and I read the reviews on that on Amazon, and a lot of people were upset that it wasn't as sticky as other ones and it didn't stay as long, so you can't sleep in it and stuff like that. But I always wore it with a really tight shirt, so I would put the scar strips on and then I'd wear a tight shirt so that it did stay in place. I never had issue with it falling as long as I wore that tight shirt. And then when I peel them off, they're much thicker than the Amazon recommended ones. They're not skin color, so they're silicone color. That's what they're for. That's what they are, is silicone. So I guess they're silicone color. They're just clear, and they're more like a jelly material. The other ones are more plasticky feeling, and like I said, they kind of hurt. So I stopped using that, and then I was you know what? I want to really take care of my scars. That was a main thing going into 8 to 10 months of this, because my scars were still dark, and I was told by my plastic surgeon that my scars would be darker because of my skin type. I think maybe it's a Mediterranean thing. I'm not really sure. Not my skin type, my skin tone. So I started really taking care of it, and that's when I started using the dry brush. I got mine from Five Below. I think it was $2.50. It was $2.50. And then after I do that, I go in the shower. I use the Moderna Advanced Scar Gel, and my husband noticed it after the first time. He's like, your scars lightened up, literally after the first time. So that was a huge plus. So I've been doing that. I'm not going to say daily. I'm going to say 4 to 5 times a week I've been doing it. And I'm very happy so far with the results. I'm not at a place where I want to share my scars. I love that people are so proud and share their scars, and that's so cool. Sometimes I wear outfits that definitely show my scars, and I am proud of them. But just to be wow, these are my scars, I'm just not there yet. Tons of people are. I love and respect them. And if they weren't like that, I probably would have been too scared to get this done because I wouldn't have known what to expect. But I am very happy with my situation. I think the hardest thing for this whole thing, like at the tail end, because I have updates like my 6 months and everything like that, and you guys can go check those videos out. But I would say the hardest thing was dressing for my body now, and so I do try to put a lot of content out like that. I love dressing for my body now, but it's hard because for those 10 plus years, I always had a big chest, but for those 10 plus years that my breasts were growing out of control, you kind of get put in a box on what you can wear and what you can't wear. And so coming out of that box it's scary. So that's probably been the hardest thing for me. My husband is so supportive and is obsessed with my body now. So there's nothing there. I know people would probably question, like, how does your husband feel? He loves me and I love him, and whether or not I have boobs doesn't really matter. So I'm very thankful for that. And, I know it's not the case for everybody. I'm very lucky. So anyway, the hardest thing, like I said, is just figuring out how to dress my body. And I think I've been doing pretty good, but sometimes I think like, oh, that will look good. And then I go to put it on and I'm like, that doesn't look good on me at all, actually. So those videos don't make it out to the internet. But yeah, so that's really been the main thing. If this isn't something that you're 100% confident you want to do, I think it could really mess with your head if you go about this without 100% preparing yourself for what's ahead. I had said in my early video, I think the worst part about this whole thing was the first time I went to go shower and I took off the bandages and I almost passed out seeing it. I was like, what the fuck what did I do? That was really, really, really traumatizing. And my husband was like rubbing my legs. Like I went to go sit on the bed, lay down, and he's like, you look so good. It looks so good. And he was so supportive. So that really made me feel better. Besides that, I think honestly, the hardest part, not for me, because I don't care what other people say about me, but for other people who maybe are more normal than I am and care what other people think, maybe less healed than I am, because I do go to therapy. I think what other people say about you is hurtful. Like a lot of people, like even people like in our family are like, oh, she just cut off her breast for no reason, or she's crazy, why would she do that, or she's dramatic, or whatever the case is. So just make sure that you know why you're doing this. For me, it was to reduce my chances of getting breast cancer. My grandmother had breast cancer, and I just was a high-risk candidate for breast cancer. I had a lump in my breast, microcalcifications. I had literally so many indicators that cancer was on its way. My cells were already going rogue. I had hyperplasia in one breast, and I was going to have to be monitored every 6 months with a mammogram and an ultrasound, and then every year for an MRI. And now I don't have to do any of that. I just have to go to my breast specialist like once a year. And that's basically it. My regular gynecologist, she can, feel me up. I don't know what she's going to feel. I do still have to do a breast exam, but it's so different now because my breasts were so large before that it was hard to know, and they were changing so dramatically every day, literally every day, growing like crazy, that it would be really hard to stay on top of my own breast health. And I found my lump because it was like this big. It was very big. So that's why I found it. Otherwise, if it was small, I don't think I would have ever found it because my breasts were so large. It was hard to like even feel anything in that. I didn't know what the heck I was feeling. Plus, I was super dense. My breast density was, I think they said like 80%, which automatically puts you at a higher risk for breast cancer. So I think this video is kind of like a ramble, but basically make sure that you're 100% ready to do this. I don't know if you'll ever be 100% because when you take those bandages off the first time, it's really, really, really shocking, but make sure that it's going to be shocking that first time. It gets better. Your scars will heal. Finding clothes for me has been tough, and not tough for me, but probably tough for other people is people's opinion on my choices, my body. I mean, I think it would be the same if you would feel insecure if somebody questioned you getting a breast reduction or questioned you getting breast implants. If that would make you feel a way, this will make you feel a way, because people will say mean things. People are mean. I mean, that's just the name of the game. But obviously, like I said, it like rolls off my shoulder. Like I always say, it says more about you than it says about me, like whatever. So that's my update. I do not regret this, not for even a second, not a second of any seconds of any day, of any time of my life. I couldn't be happier. Since I found that lump till today, I would say every single day of our life has gotten better. Yeah, just not having to feel like you have impending doom over you. And I know if you don't have the choice if you have cancer, your experience will be very different than mine was. And I'm not trying to be like, it's great, even if you have cancer. My situation was very different. And so mine was prophylactic. Mine was more like preventative to try to not get cancer. So that's my story. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. And I definitely hope to see you guys in my next video. I'm not really sure how many updates I'm going to have on this. Maybe at my next appointment with my breast specialist, I'll have an update. And to be honest, I have to check my calendar. I have so many doctor's appointments that I'm not even sure if I have another one with my plastic surgeon, who actually did the final scar. I'm not sure if I have another appointment with him. So I have to double check that. If I do, I'll definitely have a video talking about it. But overall, couldn't be happier. Thank you guys so much for your love and support, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.